He's the only ex that I actually talked to. So it was a strange relationship between the two. We weren't technically together.
Okay, let me stop you right there. Because he said he has been saying this for 13 years. 13 years.
You could ask around. You could ask my brother. You asked her.
Ask anyone else but the person that he was dating. Hello.
What up, though?
How y'all doing? This is Justin
And Desmond.
here with another episode of What's the Secret? So, some things we got to get you guys to do for us. Make sure you go and
Like,
share,
subscribe,
comment down below, and ring that bell.
He really likes that.
I love that part. It's awesome. All right, so today we're going to be talking about exes.
Remember this motto.
Yes, this is important.
We are not relationship experts.
We are experts
in our relationship.
at us. That's it. All right. So
Disclaimer.
that's our disclaimer. Like I said, we're talking today about exes. So
Yikes.
I don't have any exes.
He a lie.
I have no exes. This is my very first.
Yes. Several.
Don't say several. Rude. Okay, so I have a few exes. And no, all my exes don't live in Texas. I have one ex that I just loved, and he passed on. But he is like at the top of all my exes because he was my first, like my actual first love, my first ex. So that was Tremaine, and it was really weird because he'd be okay with me like still talking to Tremaine and telling him, you know, I love you and all that other stuff, and like that didn't bother him at all.
Yeah, I think I just had an understanding for it. I've had a few exes, but I was a late bloomer. I was a late starter, so I didn't have very many. But I understand a first love. So what is up? Don't.
Yeah.
But I understood, and then when he passed away, yeah, that was really difficult for Justin. But you know, when his birthday comes around, you know, I make sure that I ask him, is he okay? Because it's one of those things that you never get over your first love.
No.
Whether it's you ended badly or good or whatever the case may be, that's just something that you don't forget.
And it was like hilarious because like a few weeks before he passed, we actually talked about like we really never actually broke up. Like we don't remember why we broke up, if we really broke up. It just kind of ended, and then we just picked up as friends from there. It was crazy. But yeah, so that's the one ex that I do want to talk about.
Sugar's at the door. So right before Justin, I was with I actually still talk to. He's the only ex that I actually talk to. So it was a strange relationship between the two. We weren't technically together.
Okay, let me stop you right there. Because he said he has been saying this for 13 years. 13 years.
You could ask around. You could ask my brother. You asked her.
Ask anyone else but the person that he was dating. But he was. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
We weren't necessarily together, but in his mind, we were together, and I really cared for him, and I still do to this day. But it wasn't a relationship.
Crickets. Right. So maybe you guys can help me understand this.
Hey, now they have the terminology in a situation. It's complicated.
They were in a situation.
Facebook status back then would have been it's complicated.
Right.
We didn't have that then. We old.
I didn't say anything about that.
Older.
So yeah, it tickles me because he's like he wasn't with this particular person. That person was with him. So he wasn't dating him. He was dating him. It was a mess. It's a mess.
Next. Prior to him, I had very quick relationships. Like, it was just quick.
Fast and hurry.
It was like the typical, 3-6 months, in and out, one-or-doners.
Not one-or-doners. No.
So I didn't have really, that many exes. So I don't have a lot of stories there, Unlike somebody else who started early in life.
What family? If you're watching this, he is lying. I don't know where he is getting these untruths from. There is this one ex.
Call a thing a thing.
But there is this other ex.
Not on my watch.
That he actually used to watch Young and the Restless with.
Oh, Cat.
They got nicknames for each other.
Yes.
Which is
we
really
love
awkward.
Young and the Restless. I used to watch Young and the Restless. This is about to go to a different topic. With my grandmother.
We're not doing that.
And, Victor, Sharon, Nikki, and Shannon, and Phyllis.
This is not a promotion for Young and the Restless, so no. Yeah, so it was really strange for me for them to get so close to where they're talking on Facebook. Did I have numbers? I had each other's numbers at one point.
We did at one point.
Yeah, and it was really weird. And then we go to DC pretty frequently, and so it was
love DC.
Yeah, we love DC. Yeah, both of those. Yeah,
necessary trouble.
So we were in DC a few years ago, and we actually went to dinner with my ex and his husband.
Ooh, child.
That was talk about anxiety on 10, and yeah, walking into that, I didn't know what I was walking into.
He didn't want all his secrets.
But whatever. That was Lord have mercy. That was.
But it went really well. Nice restaurant. I can't remember what it was, but it was a nice seafood restaurant.
The conversation flowed pretty well. I was just trying to make sure that those two just didn't start talking and sharing stuff. Because I didn't, when I dated my ex, I was a different person. I lived in Savannah.
Check, please.
I lived in Savannah, Georgia, and things were a little different at that time versus now. So I have a pretty good relationship with most of my exes. I can't say that for all of them. Some of them I forget that we even talked.
Yeah, I have sort of the same thing. Yeah. But my thing with prior relationships, excuse me, wow, that was an awkward moment.
Prior relationships are
gas. Yeah. They just right up and down, and sometimes they don't want to come out or they don't want to go away. But at some point, they just have to come right on out.
No.
There it is. But what I did mean to say before that gas was that you have to move forward. Like, if you ended on bad terms, grow up, grow out of it. It happened. You don't have to have a friendship with your exes, or you don't have to, I don't believe in, talking every day, all day, even every other day with an ex. It's okay to be cordial, his ex in DC. Yeah, we're in town. Hey, let's go out to dinner. So be it.
Yeah.
But just moving forward, moving beyond, growing up, realizing that they're still people.
I mean, you liked them at some point, so
Yeah.
you have to like something about them. But I think it takes a level of maturity for you to say, we're exes, but we can find that common ground enough to be cordial, to still have a friend-like environment between the two of us. But I think it's very important to remember, if your current partner is not okay with you talking to your ex, then that is a discussion that you need to have
Oh, absolutely.
with both of those parties. Actually, have that discussion with your current partner to see why wouldn't they be okay with you talking to your ex, not necessarily spending time and playing video games, having a smoke out and all that other, no. Why wouldn't they be okay with you having that level of friendship with them, some sort of friendship with your ex, versus just not talking to them at all? But it does take that level of maturity for you to have that conversation with both of them, to come to a level ground, to say, this is what we were, this is where we are now, this is where we were then, we gotta move past it.
Do you think we would be friends if we weren't together?
Oh, absolutely not. Every person you date after me, I'm a flatten your tires. And that's on camera.
I would like to think that we would be friends.
I think we would.
Because we have businesses together. We have, it's 13 years now. So, if that does happen,
It's not happening.
Well,
But
it's not going to be happening. But you always like to ask those type of questions, like,
it's not happening. But I think we would be friends. We have a lot of similarities, a lot of things in common. So outside of relationship, I think we would be friends. Yeah. I would still flatten your tires. So.
But I think it would be really difficult for the person that come after,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Because I think I would want to talk to you like every week and still hang out.
Yeah.
Unless like you just really just.
Anyway, moving swiftly along.
By the way, he wanted to talk about this, so hey.
I did, but I didn't want to talk about that. So yeah, and as you guys can see, we just kind of be rambling on this, especially with this topic, because I think exes, being in a stable relationship and then having your exes as friends, that's different. And I think in gay relationships, once you break up with a person, you're supposed to just X them out completely and move along, because that's kind of like where we are. Like, people feel like you're supposed to be there.
But it's a huge misconception.
It's a huge misconception. It doesn't have to be that way. Grow up, be a man about it, and identify what went wrong, how it went wrong. No need to point fingers and see who did wrong, but just identify what went wrong, where it went wrong, and move along.
That's kind of the final thoughts. We always end up talking about the final thoughts before the end. But that's actually what part of what I was going to say is, like, this is going to help you finding out where it went wrong. What things happened, what you can improve upon. It's going to help you in the next relationship. It's just building you up, helping you grow, and as you grow, if you enter another relationship, it's going to help you guys stay together. It's going to help you guys grow together as well. I think what has helped us is that we've been able to grow together. So we made all of these mistakes and these things together, but when something happens to us individually, there's another person there to say, hey, I think you probably should do this, or you should do that, or let's work on this together, or let's find someone to help us, with these type of whatever's going on at the time. But if you're, exiting a relationship and then possibly entering another relationship, you gotta have some time for yourself. Like I think that's
another topic.
that's another topic for another day. But definitely learn from your past relationships. Use that as tools and tips of things that you should do again, or you should. You should.
That you should not do again.
But I think a lot of people always say that it's the other person, or they always think it's the other person. But even if they did mess up, there's still some things that you have to take responsibility for.
Absolutely.
In that mess up or in that breakup. And that's something that past relationships, our exes teach us, is that, hey, it wasn't just that person. It can't just be all them.
Yeah.
Because there's two people in a relationship. Nowadays, there's 3 and 4. So
yeah.
That's your final thoughts.
So tell us a little bit about. One, answer this question: do you still communicate with your exes? Are you guys still friends, or how does your current partner feel about you talking to your exes? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments. There.
Comment below.
And we'll actually take some of your comments and kind of expound on them in other videos. It'll give us a chance to really kind of see how everyone feels about that. And we'll talk about it later.
Don't forget to like,
share,
subscribe,
comment down there like we just said.
Down there. And the most important thing he loves.
Ring that bell.
You can catch us here every week for a new episode of What's the Secret with Desmond
and Justin.
Bye, guys.